Hi everyone, this is going to be a slightly different video. So some of you might have noticed that I was on a short game break recently, and a couple of you might also know that was because I was on holiday. This is not my picture, by the way, but it's off Google Maps. It's somewhere I was at, but it's not my photo. So this is Kata Beach on Phuket Island. And Phuket is obviously one of the most popular destinations in Thailand, which is where I'm from. And while I was on this kind of holiday, I also took game break. And I just wanted to share with you a little bit the experience of having had breaks away from the game and kind of just talk more casually about what the benefits are from my point of view. So this was my second break from the game. I took my first break around a year ago as well, and the first time around I wasn't sure if I was going to come back, to be honest. That wasn't because of any frustration with the game. I was just going through a little bit of a difficult time in my personal life. And this second time around, I had no intention to leave the game permanently. It was quite a bit of a different experience both ways because of the different intentions from the beginning, but in a way it wasn't different because what it was essentially stepping back from the game and deciding I'm not going to compete for a while. And both times there were quite a large number of changes to the game during that time. So the first time around, they had introduced heroes like Necros and Galmaris while I was away. And I knew that this was a huge change to the meta. And this time, I think my flight left less than 2 hours after they pushed patch 0.49. So I had an opportunity to scroll around the new home screen and tap on a few things, and that was it. My plane took off to Thailand. And I think it's quite common for people to scroll around, look at some other photos. This was a really gorgeous beach, by the way. I don't know what this is. The sand here was absolutely amazing. Very fine, soft, white sand. This grade A sand. Well, okay, I've seen slightly better, but this is really up there. I think it was the best beach I was in during this holiday, and the incline of the beach was also very shallow, so you could walk a long way in with your feet still kind of on the bottom. It was quite windy while I went, so I think might have been good for surfing. I don't know, I don't surf, but I saw people having fun. Really gorgeous. You can see here that sand is wonderful. Really nice. So Kata Beach. This is like a traditional boat. Anyway, where was I? So I think when you step away from this game, it's definitely easier to do while you're on holiday because you're like, this is a special moment. I want to enjoy it to the maximum. But it's no less true in, say, your regular everyday life, right? When you're at work for most of the day and then you come home and there's still a lot of things to do. the game can be a significant part of your life, especially if you are more competitive. And you spend more of your life at your job and dealing with your day-to-day things than on holiday. So why not also think about these things while you're not away? So I would say, it's a conflict which is probably always there. That's probably the reason for having this conversation. A part of you, maybe a big part, maybe a small part, really wants to play the game. And the game has many faults, but if you're still here, if you spend time, if you spend money on the game, if you've been with the game for a while, or you plan to continue, you clearly enjoy the game. There's something in it for you. And at the same time, if there's, a part of you that is still interested in this video, there's likely some part of you, big or small, that feels maybe a little disappointed, let down, disillusioned from the game. Maybe you feel like it isn't worth as much time as it was. Maybe it isn't worth as much money as it used to be. Maybe you don't feel happy with the way that some of the player concerns are being handled or not handled. Maybe you don't like the direction of the game. Maybe you don't like how many heroes they're putting out. Maybe you don't like that you don't have some of these heroes. There are many, many reasons to have at least a small part of you feel a little bit doubtful of how much further you want to invest your time and potentially money in this game. And it's about finding that balance. That balance can be dynamic, obviously. Like I said, maybe during holiday, it's easier to prioritize the real life, so the desire to play the game will go down. But can we kind of maybe tap in to what it's like in the normal period? So we could just think about what are the benefits of stepping away from the game. So I would say the main benefit is the same as the main downside, which is you're not competing. And when you're not competing, you're not playing the game, but you're also not playing the game, because there's the game, Gemstone Legends, and then there's the psychological game, right? The psychological game is everything in the game. Everything from the guild check-ins to the time rewards to the raid bosses to the wars, the events, arena, everything. The offers, the boosts. Every single thing in the game is designed to prey on your FOMO. And that's the real game. Every chance to spend more time, if it's free artifact removal day, that's one of my biggest time sinks. Arena is another huge time sink. Inferno can be another huge time sink. Events. Or money, offers that don't come around very often, or resources that you really want to get your hands on. Those are really designed to target and prey on your FOMO. And when you step away from the game, you're saying, no, I don't care. I'm not going to participate in that. And that is both the benefit, because that is your chance to be aware and see that there's that psychological layer and see it for what it is and decide, yes, I want to participate, or no, I don't want to participate. And the downside, which is I'm not going to participate, and the consequence is perhaps I won't progress in the game as quickly as other people who do decide to go this route, right? But when you're in the game all the time, sometimes maybe it's the last day of the boost, the last hour of the boost, or there's an event relic that everyone's getting and you feel like you should get it as well. Sometimes when you're so close to the action, you don't see the psychological game. And I've been there. I'm sure a lot of you know what I'm talking about. And, sometimes I don't want to be there. And I end up getting there. I pull too much. I spend too much time. I spend too much money. And I'm like, wow, I didn't intend to spend my weekend this way. And in a way, you normalize it because so many people can relate to it. It almost becomes something that you can laugh about together. But don't forget the actual cost of it, even if you normalize it. So I'm just gonna scroll through more photos. And the other thing that's good about kind of switching off and going away, you can kind of see what else you could do with your time and money. So I think this is another great beach, by the way, Galon Beach. These two are good, but the sand is not quite as fine and beautiful as the other one, but I will show you. Say the Hilton, 5-star hotel, probably has at least 2 pools at the beach side. I don't know if you can see this. Okay, the prices don't come here, but you're probably looking at around $150 a night max, and this is one of the high seasons, July. So if you're thinking, what else can you do with the money for 2 astral scrolls? This is it. You could be at a really nice hotel having delicious Thai food. Look at that. This looks like a really great pad Thai. See? Very nice. And some curry, some other things. You could be having a really great time if you invested your time and money differently. And this is not to say, you must decide a certain way, you must take a break, you must not take a break, you must compete or otherwise. It's just maybe a reminder for you to check in with yourself right now. How much of me wants to play? How much of me is maybe questioning or doubting how much this game is really worth for me anymore? Does that balance change a lot? You don't need to commit to it right now, but maybe the first step is just to be aware where that balance is for you right now. And what would you like to do with it? Would you like it to be different? Are you happy? Because that's what a game is supposed to be. And just, again, remember that there are 2 games that we are playing here. Gemstone Legends is one game. The other game is more addictive. The gambling game. The FOMO game. And the only time, I just finished a mindfulness course a couple of weeks ago. The only time we have a choice is when we are aware. And the moment that we are aware is the only time that we can make a choice, because when we're not aware, we just blindly continue with the status quo, right? So if we become aware, for example, that, you know, we wanted to use 200 gold scrolls, and suddenly we are using 600 gold scrolls because we really want this hero. If we become aware of what we're doing, no need to shame it or judge it. Just say, hey, this is what's going on. That's the moment that you can change your mind. So the moment where you're aware is the only moment that you could change your decision. And wherever you are in that game, I hope you manage to find something that feels right for you. So thank you. Next time I will be showing the game again and not promoting my country so shamelessly. Thank you for supporting and listening, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.